Only on 5, it's a stretch of land extending 20 miles through the Rogue Valley, visible in many corners across town and extending into playgrounds and backyards.
The Bear Creek Greenway was designed to be a scenic pedestrian pathway spanning multiple cities. But in recent years, it's made headlines as a haven for the homeless, a hotbed for crime, and a huge wildfire risk.
This week, NBC5's Amanda Rose will show us how the Greenway has transformed into what it is today and how it's impacting our community.
This pathway was once just an idea, something city planners envisioned as an emerald necklace, just a couple steps away from the hustle and bustle of the urban world. But today, some feel the reality of the Bear Creek Greenway is much different.
I wish they'd just pick up after themselves and then wouldn't feel so bad about having the cops come down here and have to clear them out.
That's like the only place they can be that's, off the street. And I mean, if I was a homeless person, I would probably think to do that as well.
20 miles. It's a stretch of land many people call home.
I do sleep with a baseball bat under my bed.
But a place others like Tess Minnick fear venturing into alone, especially at night.
We always lock the doors, we make sure we close curtains and all of that. I wouldn't say paranoid, but it's not always a fun place to hear things at nighttime.
Minnick lives just a few steps away from the Bear Creek Greenway in Medford.
So I've had a bicycle stolen when I hung it up over there.
The multi-use pathway connects Rogue Valley communities from Ashland to Central Point.
And so I've seen a couple people actually passed out, like right there between those two trees and on the other side in the ditch over there.
According to the Bear Creek Greenway Foundation, city planners of the late 20th century envisioned it as a park corridor extending from Ashland to Rogue River to be enjoyed by bicyclists, walkers, runners, and families. But with the homeless population in Jackson County on the rise in recent years, Lieutenant Mike Boudreau of the Medford Police Department says the Greenway's developed a reputation for other things.
As you're walking in to an area that, is their bathroom, is also where they discard their needles if they're using drugs. And there's just a lot of general trash and food, and they're very unkept and dirty.
Now at least once a month, NPD and other law enforcement agencies, along with inmates from the Jackson County Jail, get their rubber gloves on and watch where they step.
When they've reached to the point that they're camping along the Greenway, they're at a very low point in their lives and they've probably discarded a lot of help along the way. Lieutenant
Boudreau estimates at any given time there are over 50 homeless camps on the Greenway, and during every sweep, NPD encounters around 20 to 40 people. Each of them is given a citation for illegal camping. Many have outstanding warrants for other crimes.
We clean the area, and then we find that when we come back a week later, 2 weeks later, or a month later, it may not be the same person, but there's somebody else there. And it is a constant battle that we face, but we feel it's a necessary battle.
It's a problem all 5 cities the Greenway runs through are well aware of.
But about 2 or 3 years ago, we saw those issues more or less explode, and we have been struggling to try to keep up with that.
Jackson County Roads and Parks Director John VIAL says each city agreed back in 2017 to allocate money for routine maintenance, a part of which pays for inmate crews cleaning up the Greenway.
Sometimes it's a fairly simple task. Other times it's an enormous task where they're filling 40-yard dumpsters completely full of trash.
The 5 cities and Jackson County each spend $100,000 on major maintenance on the Greenway, $66,000 on staffing a park ranger, and $57,600 on routine maintenance. That's over $220,000 every year. But VIAL says that number only scratches the surface.
Those other costs are being borne by the county and by the cities.
According to the most recent numbers, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office spends just over $46,000. The Medford Police Department $30,000, Central Point Police $12,000, Phoenix Police $10,000, Ashland Police $2,000, and Talent Police $1,500. That's another $100,000 each year.
I ate my garbage. I get all the garbage up.
It's kind of sad. It's great and it's also sad.
And sad, why?
Because there's a lot of people that need help, and And some of them I realize maybe won't accept that or whatever the situation is, but it does make it a little scarier of a place to be when you see so many homeless people or you see so many people that are on drugs or alcohol and around beautiful places like the park.
Coming up in part 2 of this exclusive report, how the Greenway is impacting local fire agencies and why they don't respond to every call.
It gets difficult to not only respond to those fires correctly, but also to make sure that we are always keeping life safety a #1 priority.
Tomorrow only on NBC5 News.